sports, it goes beyond competition, It's about human capabilities. And we see so many of these stories that are shaped by films, by literature, by media, by books. How do you think, in your personal experience, how have you seen sports inspire people? What role does it play in bringing about social change and mirroring the ambitions of millions of Indians?
So from my personal experience, I used to play football for my school and I was the school captain, and like all of us, we play all games. If you are good in one game, you are supposed to be good in all games. So, and there was a movie called Hippie Phurre by Prakash Jha. We used to go and watch those kind of movie and make heroes out of that. So, I mean, to answer your question, I would like to quote Mr. Nelson Mandela, who said, sport has the power to change the world. And like this, no other thing can change the world like this. And also, I mean, we have been seeing all across the world, not only in India, the sport has the power to brand also, the fastest and the most powerful way. But I was talking to Nandan before we started. I mean, in India, there is a friend of mine in IMT who has done a research on Indian sport, and he has raised a question. And I mean, the sports literacy in India, I'm talking about literacy, not knowledge. Sports literacy in India is just 6%, and amongst girls is 3%. So, and again, the modern journalism, besides social media and all, sport is dying down. In my channel, we used to have 30 people at one point of time. Now we are just 2. And I'm talking about NDTV. So all other channels, you can say, I mean, we show some sporting stories like cricket and all, when we win, but not all stories. Now you people have started, like we showed Olympiad, and we called lots of chess people and all, chess grandmasters. You did not come, of course. So like that, we are trying to do change, but sports stories are not being told. Enough stories are not being told. Then the format have also changed, but we need to tell stories. Why? I mean, you people can answer. Why do we need to tell stories to the younger generation?
It's interesting you say that, because like you're saying that media has these challenges of telling these stories. As an athlete, I can say that there is no better time to be in sports, to be a sports person than today. The support that has come in, everything. I mean, after winning the Chess Olympiad, we had the opportunity to meet our Honorable Prime Minister, and I can say this, as a sports person, meeting Modi sir was inspiring beyond measure. And as a human being, it filled me with so much national pride. His love for sports and how he sees that as a tool to bring the country together, that was an incredible experience for each one of us in the Indian team. And I want to come to you, Neeraj, on this, because, to Vimal's point, that while we see this big boom in sports, today children grow up not saying just we want to become a doctor or an engineer. They want to do that. They want to go into the entertainment industry. They want to become astronauts, but they also want to play for the country. That has become so much part of their psyche. How much of a role does storytelling and content play? And how can we sort of deal with this challenge that Vimal just said, that, cricket, yes, it's an easy sell, but how can you tell these other incredible stories from sports?
Yeah, so the biggest problem is cricket, and the biggest solution is cricket, We follow cricket, but cricket is taking over everything. That is the challenge for other sports. We all know that, right? Coming to the question, I started as a cricketer, but, that time in the parents were not like this time, where you say that you go and play cricket or whatever you want to do. That time, paroge, likhoge, banoge kharab, kind of slogan was there. Paroge, likhoge to banoge nawab, khiloge, dhupoge to hoge kharab. That kind of slogan was there. But we all struggled through that. I think Bimal, me, we all started as a sports person, but could not finish, at national or maybe, state level. The biggest challenge for every sport is to have heroes. Yeah. If you don't have hero, nobody is going to support that sport. Sania Mirza won so many, trophies, and then every little girl was, with the racket playing tennis. But suddenly there was no one to, carry it forward, and suddenly it's gone down. We don't have I'm not saying that current sports persons are not bigger, but you need to have Sania Mirza, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli to have following, as well as, if you want to increase the number of, this time we haven't won so many medals, right? But last time, if you compare that, the flow was on. We might be losing because we came fourth at some point of time. We missed by a kind of, So my point is that you need to have heroes, and we need to create those heroes, not by felicitating them after they win something. You have to provide them earlier, before they start. Yeah. Giving 5 crores after winning the medal is not going to work. You have to be, giving it them beforehand. I mean, when they really need it.
And it's fascinating you say that, because I'll share a story for me. Coming from Delhi, जब मैंने शुरू किया था दिल्ली में चेस था ही नहीं कुछ. There was very little support. There wasn't. Sports was also seen as a supplement to your academic life कि आगे जाके college में admission होनी है, which has over the years really transformed. Now it's an alternative career option, but it was a simultaneous, and I still remember Siri Fort Auditorium mein Vishy Anand had come, and they had chosen 10 kids from Delhi to play a game against him. I was the only girl there, and just seeing this legend in front of me, of course, I lost that game in 20-25 moves. I was 8 or 9 years old, but मुझे लगा यार बड़े होके इनके जैसे बनना है. And that is such a big impactful moment. Speaking of, getting to the top, so much of that also depends on the grassroots, right? Because it's a pyramid. The bigger the base, the higher you go on it. And as Nandan, someone who's a leader when it comes to sports policy, lawmaking, and plays such a big role in that, what can be done to take the benefits of sports to build this sporting culture at the grassroots level? And has there been a particular policy that perhaps you can break down to us that you are extremely proud of, that has been a game changer in the country?
No, it's a great question, Tanya. I think you ask hard questions on the chessboard, now you're asking them here. But what is it about sport that is exciting? It's actually it gives us space for our individualism, but also builds a notion of collectivism. So we're doing things for ourselves, but we're also placed in a particular context that makes that achievement possible. So you are an individual athlete, but you're also created by your surroundings. And I think there's an opportunity to take pride in an individual achievement as a collective. And that's why these stories are important of, in some sense, achievable success. Sometimes the great athletes of our time can feel very unachievable. Their achievements are so far away from our daily lives that connection between the athlete and the common person is broken. But I think storytelling bridges that gap from elite to grassroots levels. And when you look at a larger scheme of how we aspire to the Olympics, how we aspire to host large events, it's actually not just about those 2 weeks. It's about the build-up, what happens after, the legacy. And such a large part is telling the stories of our heroes to young kids at the very early stages of their career. And for me, one of the concepts which is key is that notion of ignition, which you talked about. You met Vishy Anand. The scale of your aspiration possibly went up on that day, a long journey to play. But I think that ability, not everyone is going to have that chance to beat your hero like directly. But I think storytelling, using the different media that we have today, just building those early notions of it's possible for me and it's worth aspiring to. That moment of ignition for young people to aspire. Why does this matter? It's exactly what you talked about. It's culture. So it's not just sports culture, but it's about physical culture. Not everyone is going to go and achieve at the Olympics. It's going to be a very small number of people who go to the Olympics, Paralympics, the chess Olympiad. But all of us have the ability to develop a relationship with our bodies and with movement. And so much of the broader agenda, and I'm so happy that the government is also looking at these as connected themes. Sports, obesity, physical activity in our youth. And I'm very excited about the connection between sport, health, and education. For me, when you talk about a particular policy that really has made a difference, I would say it's the NEP and the relationship that sport has played in our education system at very early stages. Quite excited about how those two can be integrated, where sport is education. It's not on the side of education.
Yeah, to me, that really resonates a lot, A nation that plays is a nation that grows. You learn so many You learn so many incredible aspects and life lessons as a sports person from a young age, right? Discipline, accountability and responsibility for your actions, physical benefits. You go out, you have a healthy body, a healthy mind. You learn about something that life will teach you anyway, which is challenges, and you go play a game of chess, tum haroge, kal fir se jaakar khelna hai. So it teaches you to stand back. Imagine a country which has youth that is brought up on exactly these aspects. And speaking of this collective feeling around sports, that also hits, right? And Vimal, maybe you can take this forward, because as a viewer today, we feel news channels are run by TRPs. All we see are debates happening, which is great and which is healthy. You see a lot of different opinions being discussed, but there's one thing in our country where everyone unites. What are the key ingredients that go into this? Because it truly feels like one of the very few things, and not just in India, but in world over, at a time when really everything, from an average person's perspective, feels like things are getting divided, that sports brings people together, even in winning and losing.
So, I always tell, whenever I take lecture and also, I always say, sports is not about winning or losing, because you learn how to lose more than winning, because how many people will win? Or how many moves will you do? In each of your moves, you see that, oh, this was not that good. This is much better. So you learn how to lose. You learn how to become graceful when you are losing. You don't make heroes. You become your own hero in respect of others. There will always be reference point to your personality. Whatever you do, Vishwanathan Anand is ahead of you. So, but you learn, you're not intimidated by his awe. You make your own personality. So sport, and also I'll tell you one small anecdote. In 2010 China, I went to cover this Asian Games, and they were discussing that they were winning 200 odd gold medals and all, and they were discussing, no, we are not active sport nation, we are passive sports nation. So after winning 200 medals, 200 gold probably. So, we are also, we are passive sports lover. We have started to appreciate sports because, and the fortunate thing is that it is still sacrosanct. You are not divided on sports. If you lose, the whole country cries in their own way. If you win, the whole country celebrates, like yesterday or like in Olympiad. So, but my problem is those who can create narrative, or those who can bring stories, those who are the real storytellers, their numbers are diminishing. They are popping up in social media and all, but in mainstream media, this is dying down, and that is a major concern for me. How many research we have organized? 1951, 1982, 2010 Commonwealth Games. How many research do we have? Zero. Or probably one or two on 2010. You search on Google about London Olympics or Beijing Olympics, you will find number of research papers over there. You are going to hold 2036 if we get. So your success will not, or your legacy will not being, it will carry forward only when you do good amount of research, good amount of studies. Sports is academics. It's not, you go to the ground 4 hours and then everybody says, no, you see the walk says when you, how even the journalists, they say, कौन जीतेगा? अरे इंडिया में रह रहे कौन बोलेगा कि पाकिस्तान जीतेगा? विराट कोहली कितने रन बनाएगा? एस्ट्रोलॉजर है क्या? मतलब आप कैसे सवाल पूछते हो? Because you don't do research, you don't come well prepared. So it's about journalists also, storytellers also, and also one, I did not want to raise this point, but the PR groups, those who have come up, all these PR groups, they have become a hindrance to. If Neeraj Chopra is winning, just saying, it becomes the property of one PR group. So even if we want to do certain stories, not only on Neeraj Chopra, even Sachin Yadav, nobody knows about him. Now he would have signed some company. So they have become a hindrance to all storytellers. And that's why you find very few numbers of sports journalists who are coming up.
Yeah, it's interesting, and because really it feels like sports is booming in the country, right?